Hello, everybody. It's me, Bob Harris, Senior Editor of FootballDiehards.com. Time for your Week 14 injury preview, review, update, and overview. The thing we like to do every Saturday, get you up to speed on all the things you need to know before you set your lineup. We're heading into playoff time, so the games are mattering more than ever. So we'll dial all this in. Remind you right off the get-go, 6 teams are on bye this week. That's the Falcons, Bears, Packers, Colts, Saints, and Commanders. So get the Atlanta, Chicago, Green Bay, Indianapolis, New Orleans, and Washington players out of your lineups right now. Do yourself a favor. I'm recording this at about 1:30 Eastern Time, p.m. in the afternoon on Saturday, so things will change after I record this video. It'll be on you to check the late-breaking updates section of the website to make sure you're up to speed on everything. This will set the table. Then things will change after that. All the way overnight, you'll find updates on the website. Go to the FSP staff rankings. The staff cheat sheet is kind of the one-stop shop. Players will move around. There'll be links to the various articles. So if one of your guys is ranked way out of line with where you think he should be, there may be a reason for that. Look into it. Click the link and find out, or just check the scroll down to late breaking updates and look for the teams of interest that your players are on, and we'll have it all set up. So there are some interesting injury issues that we'll be watching this week, and a few other issues. A few quarterback changes. Davis Mills back in for the Houston Texans. That'll be one to watch against the Dallas Cowboys. Not sure how that's going to work out for him, but we'll talk about that. Saquon Barkley listed as questionable for the New York Giants going against the Philadelphia Eagles. He seems likely to play. You'll have to watch this one. Gary Brightwell and Matt Breida behind him. It's not the worst matchup in the world. The Eagles are playing a little better against the run, but Barkley kind of in a little bit of a mini slump, maybe just a little beat up. Questionable with the neck injury. Everybody's good to go on the other side of the ball. Quez Watkins taking off the injury report on Friday. Baltimore Ravens at Pittsburgh Steelers. Lamar Jackson, one of those quarterback changes we'll likely be talking about. Jackson listed as doubtful. Almost certainly won't play. Has a PCL injury, posterior cruciate ligament in his knee. That's a 1 to 3 week injury. This will be week 1. Tyler Huntley set to get the start there. J.K. Dobbins set to be activated from IR. It hasn't officially happened, but all indications are it will. They released Mike Davis to clear room for him. So still kind of a mishmash at running back position. You've got Gus Edwards still there. You've got Justice Hill. You've got Kenyon Drake. Last week, we expected Edwards to lead the way, and it was Kenyon Drake. So just go figure on this one, and Dobbins will cloud the issue further. Pittsburgh Steelers, Deontay Johnson was listed as questionable on Friday's injury report. Removed on Saturday. He is good to go, and the Steelers are all set. Cincinnati Bengals hosting the Cleveland Browns. Amari Cooper listed as questionable. Rested on Wednesday, practiced on Thursday, but hurt his hip, so he was limited. Did not practice Friday. They say he's going to play. This one looks dicey. He is playing with Deshaun Watson, will remain his quarterback, so that adds to the diciness. Anthony Schwartz, the second-year wide receiver, has been placed on IR due to concussion issues, so won't see him again. David Njoku off the injury report, so he's good to go. On the other side of the ball, Joe Mixon back in the mix. He is ready to go, cleared from his concussion that cost him the last 2 weeks. Samaje Perine played extremely well in his place, but Mixon comes back in as the clear-cut number 1, according to head coach Zach Taylor. Perine still have a role. He did before, but just won't be as robust. Hayden Hurst ruled out for this game with a calf injury as expected. For the Jacksonville Jaguars are hosting the Tennessee Titans, or at Tennessee, in Tennessee, in Nashville. Trevor Lawrence and Zay Jones are both listed as questionable. Lawrence has a toe injury, did not practice Wednesday or Thursday, got back on the field Friday. If you watched the game last week, he was hurt during the game. So he came back and finished the game. So the expectation seems to be that he will play in this one. It's a favorable matchup if he does play, especially for Christian Kirk and for Zay Jones if he plays. Zay Jones, like multiple drops last week, needs to dial it in, young man. Good matchup for Marvin Jones and Evan Ingram as well. On the other side of the ball, Treylon Burks has been ruled out, the rookie wide receivers. C.J. Board, wide receiver, has been ruled out. That kind of leaves Robert Woods and Nick Westbrook-Akini as the top 2 options of wideout. They may promote somebody from the practice squad, possibly Racey McMath. What a great name. Chiga Okonkwo, the tight end, is a very athletic downfield play, so maybe he helps pick up some of the slack as well. Hassan Haskins listed as questionable with a hip injury. His status uncertain, working obviously behind both Derrick Henry and Dontrell Hilliard at this point. Detroit Lions taking on the Minnesota Vikings. Everyone's cleared and healthy in this game, except Khalif Raymond, listed as questionable due to illness. A lot of illness on the Viking side of the ball as well. This should be a high-scoring believe it's got the highest over-under on the slate this week, 53.5 points. So excited about that. As I mentioned, Davis Mills will take back over at quarterback after giving way to Kyle Allen for 2 weeks. So Lovie Smith hopes that Davis Mills has learned from his time on the bench. He did last year, right, when Tyrod Taylor took over. But he'll be without Brandon Cooks and Nico Collins. Both have been ruled out, the starting wide receivers. Chris Moore and Philip Dorsett move up in the rotation in their absence. Plenty of tight ends there as well. Late afternoon window, we have issues there as well. Leonard Fournette, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are in San Francisco. He's listed as questionable. A little bit concerning that his foot issue was not there to start the week. Then he injured it on Thursday, then did not practice Friday. And so not a good sign. This is not trending in a good direction there. Jimmy Garoppolo will not play. Another quarterback change. Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant, becomes relevant. For the San Francisco 49ers, Brock Purdy will get the start. Everyone else is off the injury report. Deebo Samuel and Christian McCaffrey limited in practice a little bit this week, mostly maintenance to the knee and quad injuries, respectively, for McCaffrey and Samuel. Nick Bosa listed as questionable in this game. For the Kansas City Chiefs at the Denver Broncos, Kadarius Toney listed as questionable. Reporting today is he won't play. Andy Reid said on Friday he was borderline. Seems like they may play it safe with him. Probably you should do the same. Cortland Sutton ruled out of this game as well for the Denver Broncos. Has a hamstring injury. Jerry Jeudy's good to go. So he'll be the lead piece of this downfield passing attack. Greg Dulcich, the tight end, probably have a big role as well. The Seattle-Carolina game is the tricky one, right? All on the Seattle side. Deonta Foreman off the injury report for the Carolina Panthers. That's great news. But on the Seattle side of the ball, Kenneth Walker III listed as questionable with an ankle injury. You saw him hurt it last week. He has not practiced all week. DJ Dallas dealing with an ankle injury. He did not practice all week. DK Metcalf, questionable with a hip injury that arose on Thursday. Pete Carroll says he will play, so that's still one to watch. Will Dissly, questionable as well with the calf. He is also expected to play. Walker in Dallas, not so much. That would leave Travis Homer in the catbird seat there to be the lead back. Tony Jones Jr. is also there. Watch the late-breaking updates. They may elevate someone from the practice squad. They added Wayne Gallman, kind of a journeyman veteran. And they have others on the practice squad as well. So we'll see if they promote somebody. But for now, Travis Homer and Tony Jones Jr. are the two options. And Homer, probably a reasonable play in PPR. Assuming Walker and Dallas don't play, which is kind of where we're at. Sunday night's game, the Miami Dolphins are in Los Angeles to take on the Chargers. Richard Rodgers for the Chargers, a reserve tight end listed as questionable. Mike Williams off the injury report. He'll return to the lineup after missing 2 games after aggravated that ankle injury we saw on one catch against the Chiefs a couple weeks back. So he is back in the lineup for the Dolphins. Everyone seems to be good to go here. River Craycraft, wide receiver, is doubtful. Doesn't see a lot of time. Durham Smythe, questionable with knee and quad knee. But the players you're interested in all came off the injury report. Tua Tagovailoa had an ankle. He's fine off the injury report. Tyreek Hill came down with an illness on Thursday. He was removed on Friday. Jalen Waddle kind of in and out of the game last week. They're listing it as a fibula. Sounds like a bruised shin or something. He's also off the injury report after some limited work this week. So good news there. Monday Night Football, Jacoby Myers and Damian Harris. We don't have the injury report out yet, but neither of those players have practiced this week. For Myers, it's his head, so that's a little concern, probably in the concussion protocol. The extra day could work in his favor, right, for the Monday night kickoff. Harris, just not a lot of information available. Missed the last game, so don't get your hopes up there. He has a thigh injury. Rondale Moore on the other side of the ball has yet to practice this week. Greg Dortch is practicing with a thumb injury. That injury report will be out later Saturday afternoon. Again, check the late-breaking updates section of the site for all the latest information. And overnight, heading into Sunday, I'll put all the speculation from the National Insiders up on the website. Again, listen to myself and Jeff Mans on SiriusXM Fantasy Sports Radio, the pregame show. We'll have more information for you there, heading right into the early afternoon kickoffs. Good luck, everybody. Let's get into the playoffs, and I'll see you next week.